Happy Sabbath! I am looking forward to making this video. I have been looking forward to making this video just because I feel like there's so much that I would love to share, and I've been just like heart messaging the world every day. There's so much to be grateful for. There's so much beauty in the world and in people. I believe now more than ever in my life in Emmanuel, God with us. I've seen God in the faces of my husband and my children when they come to visit me, and in my mom and my mother-in-law, all my sisters who are coming, my nurses and therapists and doctors, just the other patients here. It truly is a miracle. We really are all one family. I didn't think I was going to start out this video crying, but here we are. And I just had a bloody nose a few minutes ago, so hopefully that doesn't come back during the video. Maybe I'll just have to re-record it if that happens. I've never re-recorded a video before, but I think a bloody nose might justify that. Anyway, so I was trying to decide if I should make this video just like about my healing journey or about one of the topics that I like really want to talk about that I had planned to, but I guess I can just give more of a share my learnings from the week as I have been experiencing just a healing journey. I believe now more than ever in the power of prayer, faith, that the prayer of the righteous availeth much, and that the faith of all of us is received by God and returned with a blessing. That has been my prayer this past week, that my capacity to receive these blessings being invoked upon me will expand, because I can just feel the gifts waiting in the wings, and that so many are blessing me from afar and praying for my well-being and my speedy recovery, and it works. So like I said, I believe in Emmanuel, God with us. I have gotten to meet so many people from all around the world through this experience. I've had nurses from Russia. She's a little rough around the edges. She's the one who, when I very first came to this facility, she did all of my like entrance stuff. When she saw my maybe that's too, she saw one of my injuries and she was like, "Oh my God!" Well, she didn't say gosh, but she was like, she took a picture, because I guess they have to take a picture of everything when I first came, and she was like, "Do you want to see this?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm living it. I don't want to see it. Thank you. This is why I want to steam. I really am looking forward to steaming. I've been telling everyone about steaming. Like all the nurses. The occupational therapists and the physical therapists and everything. Well, if it comes up, if I feel like it's good, the right timing. And every single person that I have talked with about it is like, this is incredible. Like, why don't more people know about this? Whatever. I look so dehydrated. Probably because I am. My blood pressure is always super low. One time the nurse took my blood pressure and it was like 86 over something, and she was like, this can't be right. Like, we've got to do this again. And I was like, it's kind of been rocking the 90s, so this isn't too far off. Sorry, you can look out my window again. Hooray. Okay, good. It's not bloody, it's just runny. But anyways, I need to make sure and be drinking a lot of water. And plus I'm trying to rebuild my milk supply because I'm going home on Wednesday. Hooray! So Leah has got to come our baby. I try not to say like my family's names on these videos, but you've probably heard them all. And like, I don't even know who's watching these, but you probably know all of my family members anyway. But I don't know, I guess just like part of me is like, oh, once on the internet, always on the internet, or I don't know, maybe they don't want to be talked about or whatever. But so I try and keep them a little bit more anonymous. Do you want to see? Oh, I don't know if I can turn the camera around, but look, I have one of my feet up. Yeah. And look, there's a little squishable that my kids brought me. Some flowers and a plant people sent me. Anyway, so our baby, people have brought her to me to nurse every day. So kind. Sometimes even my husband just drove home and got her and then came back. But everyone is just so kind and helpful. My friends, I hope that is like a huge takeaway from this, is like, I don't know if I have any fair weather friends. Like, everyone is just so kind and giving and loving and just absolutely just charitable toward me, and I am so grateful for that. But I started all that because I need to drink more water, because my blood pressure is low, and because I'm trying to build up my milk supply. And before that, oh yeah, I was talking about the nurses that I got to meet from all around the world. So the one from Russia, just awesome. I've learned a lot from her. And one from Mexico, just so soft-spoken and kind. And my husband happened to be gone. He had to go do something, I can't remember, but this was when we very first got here, and I couldn't move my body very well. My muscles just weren't responding, and anyway, my leg had been spasming, like there was this like muscle spasm that was happening, and so I had accidentally like thrust out my leg weird, but then I couldn't like get it back, and it was starting to like fall off the bed. And so I like pressed the emergency button to call the nurse because my leg, and at that time it was so incredible, like excruciatingly painful for my legs to go wide, like separate out from each other. And so this one leg was just like slow falling down onto the ground. And I was just like, no, trying to like stop it with my arms. As I was laying on the bed, just like totally helpless. And this sweet nurse from Mexico just came in. what is it, honey? And I was like, my leg is falling down. She's like, oh no. And she helped me put it back up and, you know, arrange the pillows around me and arrange my blankets. And, you know, they're just so kind. Just so kind. Another another nurse from the Philippines, and she has a big family too. She comes from a family of 9. So when I said that I am the second oldest of 8, she said, I've got you beat by 1. But she told me she goes to mass every day before she goes home to go to sleep. She's one of the night nurses. She goes to mass and she prays for all of the patients that she had worked with that night. I mean, that's incredible. What a life to live. Yeah. And I had another nurse, the one who took out my stitches. She's from Iraq, and her husband still works in Iraq and Dubai. And here, I guess he's like, anyway. And I have loved talking with her too, just about family life and motherhood. When people hear that my husband and I have 6 kids, they say, what? You're not old enough to have 6 kids. And just, it's, like I said, it's been awesome to meet lots of different people in all walks of life and just learn from lived experience. That's my favorite way to learn right now. I love books. I love learning from other people, but I also love learning from lived experience and just coming to my holy ones, returning and reporting and saying, okay, show me, or this is what I've learned, clarify that, you know, deepen it, write it on my heart without having me know. And I had an experience with one of the doctors this week who came in, and I felt like he was just kind of being not very kind. I felt like he was being kind of pushy. We disagreed about an issue. He wanted me to take this one medication and I didn't want to take it. And so I felt like he was just being patronizing and dismissive of my concerns and whatever. And so that night I had a dream that he tried to come back in and talk with me, and I was like, no, actually, I'm gonna need a different doctor to talk with because I felt accosted by you today, and so we need someone else to interface. And it's one of my New Year's resolutions to talk with people when they're in my dreams. And so the next day when he came in, I told him about the dream, and you know, he's wearing a mask, and so his eyes like got all wide, and he was like, you really felt like that? And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I have reason. I mean, I know you have your professional opinion, but this is my body and I have my reasons, and I felt like you weren't listening to me. And so then a couple days later he came and he ordered all these extra tests for me and whatever. And it turns out like he feels like my levels are fine and I don't need to take that medication and whatever. But I guess it's just like a standard, like, oh, someone in this position, we just give this medication. And I was like, that's like possibly preventative. It's not even like, oh, you're experiencing this symptom, let's address that. It's like, this is a possibility for you and this might help that, so let's give it to you. And that's gonna get into my milk. Like I don't want to do that. Anyway. So he came back, and again, Kent wasn't here. I mean, my husband wasn't here. And so he came into the room and I was like, okay, I got this, like, it's totally fine. And he was like, I've been thinking a lot about what you said. And I just felt my heart just totally soften. I had already received about like my learnings about that experience. And, you know, what I told him was, I've learned that what other people do is about them. And what I feel about what other people do is about me. Like, I needed to learn something from that exchange. You didn't do anything wrong. Maybe you were trying to be protective of me. Maybe you were just like that. Maybe that's the energy that I was feeling and I misjudged you or whatever. Like, I needed to learn from that. And so we just had a really good talk. And, when we left, he like patted my shoulder as he walked out. And it was just good. I was glad to like be an adult. And that he could be an adult about it too. Because it's not even like we had an argument or whatever, but I just could tell with his like eyes bulge behind the mask that he was like, what? Because he said, I just felt so bad that you would feel that I was not listening or like not taking you seriously, or because I just want what's best for you. As a doctor, that's what I want to do. I want to help people to heal. And so that you would feel like that I was doing anything but that. I just wanted to clear that up. And so I thought that was really awesome of him, but especially from my lived experiences. Okay, I need to put this foot down. And let's see, what else? Oh, I have so appreciated the community of people that I have found who absolutely care for and respect the human body in all shapes, sizes, forms. I feel so deeply the sacredness of our body temples, and to find a whole community of people who also treat people's bodies with that level of care and concern and respect has just been such a gift to me to see that, our bodies aren't something to hide. It's not dirty or wrong, or I don't know. I've just had experiences where, people's bodies are just disrespected and absolutely unnecessarily sexualized. And it doesn't have to be that way. We can, with love, approach every person. So I have loved to see that. My belief in the power of touch has absolutely been solidified. I mentioned that, like, I'm trying to not take any, just as few medications as possible. And there was this one therapist who did this certain kind of manual therapy on me, and I just laid there crying, like praising God, because everything was just so tight. And you're like, oh, well, we can give you a muscle relaxer, or like I had just consigned myself that morning to be like, okay, this is my life now. Like, this is just the way it's gonna be. It's gonna be just really painful to move. But she just did these techniques, and just the relief was just such a blessing. And I told her that too. I was like, you have a gift of healing, and I hope that you know that you are like spreading the light of Christ. Because she's a Christian. Her husband is a Lutheran preacher. And so that's the other thing I have loved talking about God with all of these, not all, who I feel to connect with. I've told a lot of people about The Chosen. That show. I love that show so much. And most people haven't heard of it that I've talked to them. I'm like, okay. Like, I was a film TA in college. This is a good show. Like, please watch it. Like I even watched the trailer with one of my nurses, the occupational. I was like, we have like 3 minutes left of our session. Like, can we just watch the trailer of this? Because she was like, I don't know, like I've never really seen a movie of Jesus that I really like. And I was like, neither had I. But now I have, like, I'm a major fan. Okay, I don't know if I can handle this after all. I was just wanting a different position. It's like, it's relieving to change positions, but this is like, I need to work something out. There's something, the one girl who did that manual therapy thing on me, she like was trying to teach me some of the techniques so I could do it on myself. There's just like these like release points, and like things get tight and just attach weirdly that are, it's just like, yeah. Anyway, what else have I learned? I have learned the absolute gift that my husband is to me. Our whole married life, because of pride or stubbornness or unhealthy independence, I don't know. I just didn't let him help me in the ways that he could. And this experience has absolutely humbled me. And he has been my hands and my legs and my voice, and just been by my side through all of it. He used to say that he loved me, and I thought that meant like he loved having me, or he loved what I could do, or he loved that I was his wife, or he loved certain aspects of me or something. But this experience has shown me like he loves me, and I am so grateful for the undeniable evidence over the past 2 weeks of his goodness that I have gotten to receive. I've also, my absolute love of and testimony of motherhood has grown over the past 2 weeks. I miss my kids so much. I just want to be with them. I dream of them, and I think of them, and I wonder what they're doing, and I just love being with them. And our 10-year-old called last night at like 9 o'clock. She was just crying. She's like, Mom, when are you coming home? I miss you. I miss having you around. Grandma tries, but she just doesn't understand me. And I just want to be hugged by you. I just want to talk with you. It was just really sweet to hear that second witness from her of like, these bonds are real and special and sacred and irreplaceable. Because I was asking about that. I was like, my mom and my mother-in-law are nurturing people. You know, they know how to get things done. I'm sure they were making good food and, providing clean clothes and a safe place and stuff like that. But I was talking with Heavenly Mother about it, and she was just showing me how sometimes, even if it's good care, if it's different than what our own mother naturally did, then it just doesn't feel familiar. So it's not that it's wrong, it's just that it's like, just like not quite right. And so we can learn to receive the nurture and the loving kindness and care of others, but that love that we receive from our mothers really is formative, and that imprint stays with us. And I'm like, okay, I hope I'm doing well. You know, because I really do believe, I mean, there are some things that are like, okay, that would not be a good choice in parenting. And I obviously try to avoid those things. But for the most part, it's like, okay, this or that, you know, like these are both good, or like it's just a personal preference or whatever. And I try to do that with my children, to like really check in of like, okay, is this a personal preference of mine, or is it actually necessary to do this way? And try and just be open to letting them be their own person, you know, and just really trying to listen and watch for their love language reception and supply that. Because I think that, at least this is something that I've been taught, like the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's a good way, like that's a level of kindness and love. But to be able to, it's like Jesus said, love one another as I have loved you. Like, to love people in the way that they want to be loved. Like that's a whole different level. To be able to form, to flow, to shift, to be genuinely. Because kids, like, hypocrisy does not fly. I mean, with most people, but especially children. And so it's got to be genuine, to be able to genuinely give and love them the way that they need to be loved. That's why I love motherhood. It's like you get rocked. I love the saying, and I think it's true, that the product of parenting is the parent, not the child. I mean, there's something to say about, you know, supporting people to become their best self or whatever, but really, I have learned way more from my kids and become who I am in a much deeper way than ever I could ever teach them or make them be someone. Oh my, wow, 28 minutes. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here with me on this beautiful Sabbath day. The storms this week have been incredible to hear and see, to watch. I love watching the sky. I miss being outside. But my husband is taking me for a walk every day. My little wheelchair. So yeah. Shabbat shalom.